Okay, in this problem we are looking at the probability of rolling 2 dice. So what I always do when you look at these type problems is list all the different outcomes you could have when you roll dice. So the first one outcome, we could say we could roll a 1 and a 1. We could roll a 2 and a 1, a 3 and a 1. So what that means is that the first dice we're rolling a 1, a 2, and a 3, and the second dice we're rolling a 1 each time. And the highest the dice goes to is 6. Now, we could also roll on the first dice a 2. We could roll a 1 and then a 2. We could roll a 2 and a 2, a 3 and a 2. So you see the pattern here, and these are always the outcomes, the different outcomes you could have when rolling dice. So here we would have 1. This is backwards. This should be 2, 1. And this should be, correction. Okay, and then we would have a 1, 3. You could even go this way. A 1 and a 4, a 1 and a 5, and a 1 and a 6. And then you could have a 2 and a 3, a 2 and a 4, a 2 and a 5, and a 2 and a 6. Here you could have 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, and this is actually in the textbook. It has these listed out if you want to use that. So let's look. There's actually going to be, there's a row of 6 by 6. So there's 36 outcomes. So now let's look at our problem. The probability of obtaining a sum of 9. So a sum of 9. Let's highlight the sums here of 9. You have a 4 and a 5, and a 5 and a 4, and a 6 and a 3, and I think that 3 and a 6. And I think there's 4. Let's make sure. 3 and a 6, 4 and a 5, 5 and a 4. Alright. So 4, there's 4 out of 36, which would simplify to 1/9. So that is for the sum of 9. Now let's look at the next one, the probability of obtaining a sum of 3 or less. So 3, 2, or 1. Let's look at that. 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 3 is too big, 2 plus 1. So there's only 3 scenarios where you could obtain a sum of 3 or less. So 3 out of 36, which simplifies to 1/12. Now let's look at the last one. Let's do yellow. Okay, so the last one is the probability of obtaining a sum of 11 or more. So let's find 5 plus 6 is 11. 6 plus 5 is 11. 6 plus 6 is 12. Those are the only ones that if you added them, you would get a sum of 12 or more. I mean of 11 or more. So We also have 3 out of 36, which is 1/12. So that is how you calculate the probability. First, you have to figure out the total number of outcomes. And that's it.